Hey guys, and welcome to this tutorial about making a toy car in Maya. Today we're gonna make this car, or something that looks like it. And the reason why I chose this car because it has some interesting features. Namely, it has this nice curve up front in the nose section, and also because it's cool. That's always a good reason, right? But mostly because it has some interesting modeling options, modeling skills that you need. Today we're going to dive into box modeling, what you've done so far, and a new method of modeling that's called edge modeling, which we'll get into later on. When you start box modeling, I have to say, the first thing that you do is look at the shape of the object that you're going to make. What is the most basic shape that you can see in it? For example, a human arm is nothing more than a cylinder. A house is a box, and this car as well is nothing more than a simple box. So in Maya, I'm going to go to my polygon tab, polygon shelf, and I'm going to create a simple box that looks something like this. I'm not too worried yet about the actual shape and size of it. For now, I'm just going to create a simple box, and I'm going to set it to 0, 0, 0 in my world space. So in my channel box editor, I'm going to set translate XYZ to 0. I'm going to move it a little bit up, so it's hanging a bit above the actual grid. There we go. And I'm going to name it toy car. It's essential that you name stuff in Maya. For example, when you have a scene of roughly around, say for example, 16,000 different objects, and everything is called pcube1 to pcube 15,999, and you try to look for that one small wheel of the car. Well, it's pretty much impossible to find, so hence name everything. One thing that you could do as well is set the project by going to project window and create new car, or new and then toy car. I've done it already, so there you go. One thing that you always tend to do as a modeler is that you only make one half and that you delete the other one. So in my attribute editor, I'm going to add one segment, there it is. So it has a nice line right across the middle. I'm going to go with faces, and I'm going to delete this half. Done. There are two ways of copying things in Maya. First one is by going to edit and duplicate, and the other one is duplicate special. Well, what's so special about it? Well, when you go to the tools option here by clicking on that square, then set it to instance. What it does is that if you change one object or one side of the object, the other side changes as well, which is perfect. So I'm going to hit duplicate special. It has been duplicated, but it's in the same location, so I have to move it. There you go. So I'll show you what happens. So when I grab this vertex over here, when I move it, the other one moves as well. Downside is right now it's not mirrored, so I'm going to grab this one, and I'm gonna go to my scale X, and I'm gonna set it to -1. If this happens to you as well, don't worry, it can be easily fixed by just going to the renderer and set it to legacy default viewport. Done. I'm gonna move it to 0, so they connect perfectly. So now when I change this vertex, the other one changes as well. Awesome. So now when we look at the car, we can see that there are three segments of it. So we got the nose, the middle segment with the doors, and the tail section. So I'm going to go to my mesh tools, and I'm going to click on the tool options for the insert edge loop tool. You can see here it says multiple edge loops, so I'm going to click on it. You can go up to 10. I'll show you what happens. So then you add 10 edge loops. Not really helpful right now, so I'm gonna go for 2. Done. I'm gonna close this one. Now I'm gonna fix some proportion issues. So I'm gonna move this one to the left, maybe this one a bit to the right. Cool. So when you look at this car, you can see a line here as well for the bottom section. So one more, I'm gonna add a edge loop. This time just one. So I'm going to click on the top one, and I'm gonna place it around there. Awesome. So let's see, do we need something else? Well, we've got a line here that goes all the way down there, but it's something we'll add later on. So for now we're pretty much set, so now we can actually start changing stuff. So first thing I'm going to do is change the nose. So I'm going to grab these two vertices, I'm going to move it down and to the left, a little bit up, so we get this nice curvature. Simple guideline is that this vertex should always be in the middle of this one, so it always looks nice and round. And maybe let's change the tail a little bit. It's a bit boring right now, so let's grab these two and move it inside, so it looks a bit more dynamic, otherwise a bit boring. Easy. So I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna, oh, where's my toy car? Oh, I'm gonna set the project. Oh, it's not there actually, so I'm gonna set it again. I'm gonna hit new toy car, accept toy car, save. So when we look at it, you can see there is a nice curvature around here. We can do that as well in Maya. It's actually really simple. So I'm gonna go to edge mode, I'm gonna click on these edges, or I'm just gonna double click. There you go. And when you go to mesh tools and go to bevel, it actually does exactly that. So let's change the size of it a little bit more, something like that. Cool. Done. It's really not that simple and not that hard. Downside is now here in the backside we've got a massive angle, which means that this face has more than 4 vertices, as you know. So we've got one there, there. So we really need to fix this. This one is pretty easy to fix, so I'm going to go to my show modeling toolkit, multicut, and you can either do it like that fixes it quite well, or you can do it down there as well. But if you do it like this, you have to continue all the way back up, which in this case is not that bad actually. So let's do it. So it actually meets up there. Done. One trick: press 3 on keyboard once in a while to see if everything is nice and smooth. In this case, it is. So the mesh is solid. It's nothing weird going on. I've developed a bad habit. Well, it's actually a good habit, but Maya tends to crash a lot, or it can crash a lot. So save a ton. After every major change, I just hit Ctrl S, and I also tend to make a lot of backups. Because, for example, when Maya crashes, it can make your file corrupt, meaning that you can't open it anymore. If that happens, well, you can imagine you're pretty much screwed. So make backups, make a lot of backups. So let's go on. So next part will be this part here at the nose of the car. So I'm gonna go once more. I'm gonna add edge loop to there. Yeah, that part is. And I'm gonna delete this face. Pretty bit of this is a bit too much, so I'm gonna undo it, and I'm gonna add one more loop. I'm gonna add it here. So if you delete it, only this face gets deleted. So maybe even move this edge, these edges a bit up, something like that. So again, face, this one, and simply delete it. So what we've done so far is simple box modeling, which means you just keep on extruding the faces and beveling them and etc. But there's also a different method called edge modeling. It works pretty much the same, except for extruding faces, you extrude edges. So I'm going to grab this one and this one. I'm going to go to extrude. But this time I'm not going to use the actual tool, but I'm going to hit the extrude button and then just hit W on my keyboard and pull it inwards. The reason why I do is it's also just a habit, but you have a bit more control of where the object actually goes, or where the edge goes. So hence why I do it a lot. You don't have to do it, of course. It's just my preference. I move this edge here because this vertex here right now is detached. If I can actually select it, this one. it's detached. We don't want that, so we're gonna merge this one to this one. There are two methods. You can select both of them and just go to edit mesh and merge components. Downside is though that they meet in the middle. As you can see, of course you get it fixed by just moving it down. The other one is the target well function. Mesh tools, or in the mesh tools you can target well. It's a bit tedious. You have to make sure that you actually do it properly. There we go. It works. So hit 3 on the keyboard to see if it's correct. It is correct. Perfect. So let's fix this hole as well. So edge mode again. I'm gonna grab this one and this one, but this time I'm gonna hit bridge. What it does is pretty much it creates a face between the edges that you've selected. So it's 3 again. It's fine. Let's make this straight. Perfect. Save. You can see here there's a nice curve to it, so let's add it as well by doing it what we know best, and that is just adding one more edge loop. Let's move this. Eesh. So I'm gonna add one more roughly in the middle, and I'm gonna grab this entire face here and I'm just gonna move it to the right. So it now has a bit of curvature to it. So far so good. Looking pretty solid. Let's make the headlights. There's a very simple trick for them. You can go to your front view. And we're going to use a cylinder as a base for our mesh. So I'm going to go to my polygon shelf again and hit cylinder. I'm just going to place it where I want it to be. Maybe there-ish. Yeah, maybe, let's see where it is. Should be around here. A bit smaller. There. And change the subdivision axis to 8. Perfect. And then we're going to use this cylinder here as our base. So first thing first, we need more vertices. Right now we have just one face here, so it's not really that helpful, so we need more. First one we're going to do, let's do it like this, is one down the middle. So again, you can guess it, insert edge loop. And it doesn't matter if it's crooked or not, it really doesn't matter at this point. I'm just going to grab the vertex straight away, this one, and I'm going to move it up and place it where it should be. And this one as well. There. By the way, I'm using 4 and 5 on the keyboard to switch between the display modes, so wireframe and shaded view. So we need one more down the middle. Again, insert edge loop tool, and there. Okay. So now I'm going to show you a trick. Very simple trick. So I'm going to grab these faces here, and I'm going to extrude them. Not in a way that you've done so far, but a different way. So I'm going to go to edit mesh this time and going to hit extrude. But I'm not going to use the thickness or division, but I'm going to use the offset. A little bit less. There you go. So what it does is it shrinks it and creates a line in between. In this case, it's perfect. So I'm gonna now position my vertices where they should be. So this one, oh, wrong button, should be there. They should be there. You just follow the lines of the cylinder that you've just created. There. And there. Awesome. So now I'm just going to grab the faces and I'm just going to delete them for now. Get rid of this one as well. Awesome. So let's check it first to see if everything is still straight. In this case it is. Press 3 on the keyboard and you can see that this hole is now perfectly round. Very simple trick, very common in use as well, so I would advise you to use it. And let's save it again. So next up, let's make the glass section of the car. This can be done in two ways. You can make it as a separate object, or you could be hardcore and you can just extrude it, which is exactly what we're going to do right now. So let's see where it starts. Well, pretty much at the start of the curve of the nose, and it ends well way in the back. So that's a bit of a problem, because we don't have an edge there to actually support that. So once more, let's insert edge loop. I'm gonna do it right there-ish. I'm just gonna select the faces. I'm guessing it starts right there at the end. So, well, maybe use this one as well. No, it's not. Do it like that. And just extrude, extrude. And scale it down. Don't forget to scale it down to the front as well. And one thing that you should notice straight away is that there's a face here, faces there. We don't need them, so let's delete them. And let's move them back where they should be. There. Let's make it a bit more curved. So this one to the middle. Also, don't forget to use this ones as well. Move it down halfway there-ish, something like that maybe. Maybe even this one as well. So right now it's curved from the side and front, but don't forget about the top. As you can see, it's still perfectly straight, so we need to fix that as well. So move this one inside, this one inside as well. And maybe, well, maybe let's pull this one all the way back, because that might look really cool. It does. So once again, hit 3 on your keyboard. Solid. That looks pretty awesome. Don't forget to save. A million times. Cool. Well, let's fix the headlights first. So I'm just gonna grab the edge mode. Oh, wrong object. And I'm just gonna double click here, which will select the entire edge loop. And again, I'm gonna hit extrude. And again, I'm gonna hit a W again, so I can just move them inside. There you go. All the way down. One more new tool that you might have not used so far. Under mesh you can hit fill hole, which does, it caps it. But don't forget to fix this, because this is right now a massive angle. So on your modeling toolkit, just cut them. There's one there. And there. Perfect. Hit 3 again. It looks good. Well, maybe let's add a bit more curvature here. Oh, I see something very bad. Oh, actually I don't. Nope. Yeah, this is a bit weird. I don't like that. So let's move it to the side. There you go. Let's make this part a bit more curved. So once more, edge loop. And just move them a little bit up. And to the side. Same here. In this case, just a little bit up. See, now you get this nice round effect to it. And same here, let's go to the right view. Oh, and there you go. This needs to go down. Perfect. Oh, crap. There you go. Hit 3 once more. Yeah, this looks nice. This is starting to look like a decent car. You can see here that this is not a perfect curve, so let's change it, let's fix it. We're gonna spread these edge loops a little bit out. So this one and this one. And now it's once more. Perfect. Nice. Let's check. Yeah, this looks pretty okay. Our glass window is a little bit different than this one, but I like mine better, so let's make some wheels. Let's leave it like that. I'm gonna unfreeze it, unsmooth it. I'm going to my right view and I'm just gonna create a cylinder. No, let's make a tube. Let's make a tube. So grab it here, set the height and the thickness. Oh, let's make it not too thick, something like that. And move it. One more trick. When you hit Shift I on your keyboard, this happens. It means that you only have the object on your screen that you have selected. If you want to get everything back, just deselect your object and hit Shift I again. Very helpful tool. I advise you to use it. It's really good. So let's compare. Well, you can see the thickness of the wheels not that much, so I'm going to change mine. Let's go to the thickness. Oh, not that much. Maybe like 0.1, 1.5. Awesome, awesome, cool. First, you can see here there are a couple of lines there. We're not gonna do this part, by the way. I'm just gonna add these ones there. So there's 3 lines. So let's, well, first of all, let's make it not that thick. Something like that. So mesh tools, multiple loops, 3 of them. And again, I'm gonna bevel them. Yeah, a little bit wider, something like that. Perfect. So let's grab face and extrude it inward. So extrude in. Yep, that looks pretty cool. Looks, oh crap. Same again. And once more. And extrude. Cool. Let's say 3 again, just to make it look pretty. There you go. That looks pretty okay. You can even go further if you want to. You can even bevel these edges. Well, let's do that. Because we can. So let's bevel them. Not that much, but a little bit. So you get this nice rounded shape to them. And these ones as well. So bevel a little bit more this time. Cool. That looks pretty damn good. Let's hit 3. Awesome. So let's go to the inside. Let's make it a little bit bigger. You can see here it sticks out and then it goes inside. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to click them all. First thing I'm doing is going to extrude it once more. So extrude. Maybe something like this. Done. And then just shrink. And that looks quite decent. You can see here there's one more part to it, so let's do that as well. So let's add, let's do it 2. And then we're gonna offset it. So offset edge loop. Oh, undo this. Offset edge loop tool. Not like that either. That's annoying. Once more. Oh. Christ, that's very annoying. Ah, this is annoying. Well, let's do it like this. Fuck it. Let's do the old school method. Very annoying. Oh. And extrude. A little bit less. Something like this. Nice looking wheel. That's one of them. We might do the rims a little bit later, but for now let's just keep like that. So let's unhide everything. So hit Shift I again on the keyboard, and we're going to hit duplicate special. Move it to the place where you want it to be. Maybe a little bit this way. One more time, duplicate special. Something like that. Zoom out a little bit. Oh, done. They're a bit tiny, so let's make it bigger, a lot bigger. Let's go to channel box, and let's make the scale huge. Something like that. They're messy right now, but it looks cool. Done. So let's again duplicate special, move them. Weirdest car ever, but hey. Well, I just hit G on the keyboard, which is my last action, and that in this case it was the duplicate special. It was a bit of a time saver. This looks really cool so far. Funky looking car. Awesome. Maybe we can add some taillights. Yeah, why not? So I'm gonna hit Shift I. I'm gonna go to my back view, and I'm going to do the same trick. I'm gonna create a cylinder on location where I want my tail light to be. So maybe something like here. Let's make it big, because we can. Oh, there it is. And let's 8 sides again. There you go. Something like that. So in this case, I'm not quite sure where it is, so I'm gonna just grab it and I'm gonna place it where I want it to be. Maybe there. That looks cool. That looks really cool. So again, we need some edge loops to support the actual extrusion. So I'm gonna insert an edge loop. Oh, wrong button. Insert. I'm just gonna click one here, roughly in the middle of it, one there. And this should be enough. This should be enough. So let's go to faces again. Let's grab these. Once more, face, extrude, but don't extrude, but hit the offset. There you go. And then in the back view, just start placing, grabbing the vertices and place them where they should be. You can even use these functions up here, the snap functions. That will snap them. In this case, I use this one, so it will snap to the vertex. It's a bit of a cheat, but it works really well. There you go. Oh, like that and that. What will probably happen? Yep. Since it snaps to the vertex, it also snaps it inside, as you can see. So that's really not that helpful. So I'm going to do everything. There you go. And I'm going to do the other method by not snapping them. So just manual labor, grabbing it. Oh, this one. Perfect. And this one. Let's see what that looks like a little bit better. So I'm just going to delete my cylinder. And now we really need to fix these parts here. So side view. Let's go to wireframe mode and just grab these vertices that need to be fixed. In this case, these two. So let's make sure that this becomes one line. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just try it. See one there, this one, and this one. Oh, see, now it looks a little bit better. Okay. Let me show you one more trick. When I have my vertex selected, I'm gonna hold Ctrl and right click, and I'm gonna say two faces. So this is an easy method of selecting multiple faces at once. In this case, I'm gonna hit extrude button, and I'm just gonna, well, maybe invert. No, not like that. I don't like that. I'm gonna hit face extrude, and then just move them inside. Done. Backlight, 2 of them. This is starting to look pretty damn cool. This is still very blocky, so I'm going to show you one more trick by going to normals and soften edge. It does exactly what it does. What it says it does. It just softens the edges, or softens the normals, I should say. Let's do the same thing here by G on the keyboard. That looks pretty okay. Let's make some rims. So I'm going to grab one tire, go to my right view, hit F, so it's just the object in my screen. And I'm gonna create a cylinder. We're not gonna make a fancy looking rim, but just a simple one. So let's create a cylinder. Let's move it up. Oh, this one and this one. And move it inside. It's a bit big, so let's make it a little bit smaller. And let's see, let's reduce the amount of subdivisions. I tend to use the power of 2, so 2, 4, 8, 16, etc. So I'm gonna go for 16. Sure, why not? And I'm gonna grab, example, this face, see if it matches. Yep, cool. And I'm just gonna extrude them, and that's it. All the way around, that way around. Rims, let's go top view, see if we can align them a little bit better. There you go. Badass rims. Well, let's make it a little bit more interesting. So again, I'm gonna grab this vertex here, right click, two faces, then face, extrude, offset. Let's pull this one a little bit out, so it creates a bit of a cool looking thingy. Yeah, this looks pretty cool. Oh, let's go even. Well, why not? Let's add one more edge loop here. Let's bevel it. Bevel. Face mode, click, double click. And extrude. Oh, not that much. A little bit inside. So it just looks cool. It serves no purpose, but besides looking badass. Rim. So let's duplicate special one more time. Well, let's do it differently. So I'm gonna delete these again for the third time. Delete, and just grab this one, and well, maybe even put them in a group. And duplicate special. That one. The downside of using groups is that you can't select them in the viewport, because you can only select the individual object. It's really annoying. So what you can do though is go to Window and then Outliner. What it does, it shows you every single object in your scene. In this case, even the groups. So let's call this tire 1 and this one tire 2. So in my outline, I'm going to select both of them and duplicate special them. And we need to flip them. Oh, so channel box scale -1 on the x-axis. And there you go. This looks really nasty, so let's harden the faces. There you go. Let's save it. This is a very cool looking exhaust, the car so far. So let's add some spoilers. Why not? So first thing I'm going to do is create this one, and I'm going to show you a different method. So I'm going to go to my top view, and I'm going to create a plane. This bad boy. I'm going to create it roughly the size that I want it to be, so something like that. Ish. And same as with box modeling, we're going to delete half of it. So attribute editor, polyplane, and then 1. Go to face, delete it, and duplicate special it. Scale -x. There you go. So this time I'm gonna show you the edge modeling method. So we've got this nice curve looking over here, which starts pretty around here-ish. I think there-ish. So I'm gonna go to my edit mesh and extrude it. See, what you got so far is an object with no depth. It's just the edges. In this case it's really helpful because it's a bit easier to extrude them quickly. So let's make this one higher. Oh, higher. Then to low. Crap. A little bit to that side. A little bit more. There we go. Let's make it wider in general. There you go. Object mode. Oh. Sweet. Cool. So I'm gonna bevel this edge here so we get a bit more. Issues there is a bit harder. There we go. Perfect. And we're gonna make this part up here where it goes inside the car. So we need one loop around here so we can create a start of it. So I'm gonna insert edge loop. There-ish. And two more. One there and one there for the actual shape. So before we start extruding it, I'm gonna extrude this entire face right now. So I'm gonna go to my extrude. I'm just gonna select all the faces, extrude tool, and I'm just gonna click that way. So it now has depth. And now we can extrude these faces here. Let's grab this edge and move it inside. Maybe insert an edge loop so we can create a bit more of a curvature in there. This one there. Or maybe like this. Probably looks a bit cooler. Yep. And maybe let's bevel these edges. Let's bevel them. Because we can. That looks really cool. Downside is Angons everywhere. So let's not do it like that. Let's do the other method. So we're just gonna insert edge loop here and edge loop there, and then the old school method. Just grab the edges and move them to the desired place. In this case, something like this. It's a bit cleaner. It's a bit safer as well. Let's save it. This is starting to look pretty damn awesome. Let's make the spoiler in the back. Well, it's pretty much the same method. So I'm gonna create a plane, top view, and I'm gonna create something like this. Add one segment, delete half it, duplicate special. It's a big ass spoiler, but hey, who cares? Cool, so let's grab this edge here, it's a bit tilted. And let's add an insert edge loop here. Cool. Let's add two more loops. There and there. So we can actually make it attached to the car. And let's extrude the entire face. Something like that. Let's grab this face now and extrude it. Oh, there you go. Let's grab all these faces. And we're gonna do the same method, we're just gonna extrude it all. Oh, maybe not these ones. Extrude something like this. But this should be straight, or almost straight, so let's go to the side view. And let's grab these vertices. Move them down and to the right. Something like this. This looks pretty damn awesome, if I say so myself. Nice car. Let's smooth these normals, so I'm gonna grab all these faces. Oh, I'm gonna grab them all, actually. Except for the window, or for the taillights. So let's unselect these. And soften edge. this looks nasty, so let's not do these as well. So click these. And this is how you make a toy car in Maya. Next time I'm going to show you how to attach these to each other, because right now there's still one half. I'll show you that, guys, next time. And next time we're gonna give it a nice texture, make it look like a fancy ass wooden car. So I hope you had fun, and if you have questions, don't be afraid to ask me, and I'll see you guys next time.